Hello and welcome to the Feed the Machine. Welcome to the Feed the Machine podcast. This is your host, motherfucking Gino. I think I'm going to experiment with that name a little bit. I don't like the logo that I made. If you follow the YouTube page, kind of not happy with it, and I kind of just feel like it's time to move on. I'm experimenting. I'm thinking about the name. Not gonna lie, because it's kind of like a stupid catchphrase, and it kind of rolls off the tongue easy. Got high earlier in the morning. I don't usually, if you know me, I don't really get high a lot. But I promised myself that last night, I knew it was going to be a long weekend. And last night, I promised myself, like 2 weeks ago, I knew it was going to be a long weekend. I'm like, yeah, Sunday night, I'm going to fucking smoke a little. Especially, I don't get high a lot, and I smoke less than that. And then I had just a little bit more this morning, because I feel like today's more my day off, and it's be nice to sort of revel in that feeling, in that not doing anything feeling. Even though my brain kind of chatters away, and it's difficult to even feel that way unless I feel like I've done enough to deserve it, you know. Long weekend. I got up on Saturday at the homie John Lou's show, Dirty Nelly's in Costa Mesa. Give it up. Dirty Nelly's Costa Mesa. Fair Trade Comedy is his show. And I believe he co-produces it with Claire Ratfield. But I believe he does most of the heavy lifting. It's a really good show. Legitimate headliner every single time. You know, a lot of these bar shows are just kind of be like stacked with comedians, and maybe hopefully they bring people. This is like a good show with people who like the bar and come in for the show and they pay attention. And I was just coming in to support the show in hopes of getting booked kind of like further down the line. And he just kind of said, hey, do you want to get up? And I was like, yeah, sure. He's like, okay. Well, then I'll just put you up after Claire. And I'm like, okay, cool. And I didn't know that Claire was coming up next. So I was essentially next. And I'm going to be honest, I felt a little thrown under the bus, because as I'm waiting for my spot, I'm just kind of going in my head. I'm like, okay, what do I have at the ready? What have I been working on that I know works right now, that I'm sort of feeling that I know I can flow with this? Because it's a drop-in spot. He's just going to give me 5 minutes. No big deal. And, that's another name for the podcast. MBD, no big deal. I like Not Gonna Lie. Anyway, no big deal's douchier, though. I kind of like douchey, because I look douchey, so it kind of feeds into the stereotype. Anyway, I'm digressing. So while I'm waiting to get up, he tells me, by the way, it's a clean show. And he says it like 2 more times after that. Okay, clean. 5 minutes, clean. There's kids around here. Look, families, children, clean. Keep it clean. I'm like, okay. And I can't really hear Claire, because Claire's like really, really old. She might be 80 or 90. She's really old. I guess she had George Carlin as a comedy teacher at some point in the 1980s. I don't know. I heard that secondhand. But so Claire's on stage, and I'm trying to like just listen to anything that I can sort of riff off of, because I know it's only 5 minutes, but you're just kind of like didn't come in the mindset, and actually the mindset that I came in with. But before I go further, and this is not a digression, this is kind of just like where I was coming from. I was supposed to work that day. I was supposed to work on Saturday, and I was just a few minutes late. And it's not a big deal. It's kind of like these big events that they purposefully overstaff because people might flake. And if everyone's showing up, then they just kind of put the cutoff time real hard at the check-in time. So I was just a few minutes late, and they said, yeah, we're not taking people who showed up after 12. I was there like 12:15. And on my way out, I made somebody laugh. I just kind of said something, because that's why you become a comedian, because everyone, hopefully not just one person in your life, but like people in your life are like, you should be on stage, you know? And I was just on my way out, and I just said something stupid like, gee, I hope I get to work today. I'd have woke up before noon for nothing. And then some guy he's not even listening to me, but he just laughed. And then I thought, no, I shouldn't be here. I should be doing comedy right now. I'm going to go see if I can dig up a show. And then I ended up at John Lou's show. It was fucking perfect. And then John Lou puts me up, and I'm taking all the cuss words out of my bits, and it's really taking the momentum away. And the jokes are landing, because some of them are like really fresh in my mind. I've been working on like 2 brand new little bits the last couple weeks. Which also means my older bits are kind of further back in my mind, so I don't have all the tags, and I'm just, okay, this is kind of clean, and that's kind of clean, and as long as I take motherfucker out of this one, it'd still be kind of funny, but it'll flow, you know? And I just don't want to piss off John. And the first half of the set, I know it's only 5 minutes, the first half of the set pretty much rocks, even though like it had some bumps in momentum because I'm like trying to rethink F words and shit like that. And then the second half was, they're just kind of not feeling it because it's a white crowd and I'm talking about being Ecuadorian and they're like, we could give a fuck about this. I'm like, okay. And then so any of the, and by the way, the part of the set that I cleaned up, I think I would be able to say that on late night, but I just don't know what John considers clean. And I've heard about him yelling at people for not keeping it clean before. This is something I've heard of before. And so the end of the bit that I wanted to do is almost unrelated to the rest of the bit, but it's a good, strong ender. And it's just like, I know every woman I've attracted I know every woman I've ever been with, I've attracted with my personality. And I know I've repelled many more women with my personality. And that's why my wife is the perfect woman for me, because she is so hot and I know that she can talk herself out of any dick anytime by just saying a few short words, because she's goofy like me. And then I kind of go into like, yeah, we were gonna get freaky, and then she started calling me daddy, and I said, don't call me daddy, that's weird. And then she called me pop, and I'm like, hey, that's even worse. And then she called me Lewis, and I'm like, who the fuck is Lewis? And she said, that's my dad's name. And I just didn't want, that's not dirty. Like, I really believe I can do that on late night. I'm pretty sure I've seen people like Taylor Tomlinson and Nikki Glazer say those kind of jokes on late night, where as long as you don't like say the F word and like be graphic, then it's like perfectly fine. Especially if it's funny, and that usually gets a big reaction. I took that whole chunk out, so that's like 30 seconds to a minute out, and now so I'm doing this Ecuadorian bit. And anyway, so the first half is like kind of strong, could have been stronger if like I didn't have to like rethink my set like 2 minutes before I was going to get on stage. And the second half, felt real, and it's weird because you feel judged, but I'd rather have a show than not have a show. It sounds like I'm complaining, and I guess I'm a little it sounds like I'm complaining, and I do feel like I'm a little bit complaining. I just felt a little thrown under the bus. Reason being, the people who came right after me just started talking about threesomes and jacking off and fucking kids and shit, and I'm just like, dude, I could have just done my fucking set. My set is not that bad. Like, I have like one or two F words and fucking and I just mentioned my girl calling me daddy. Like, I could have just done my set. You didn't have to put me in my head. Look, children, families, it's a clean set. And then followed by like 30 minutes of just like, oh, these kids are going to hear it anyway. They're in a fucking bar. Oh, they're going to hear it from you, huh? You're going to fuck these kids. And I'm like, oh, dude, fuck, this is crazy. I could have just said my fucking set. I felt thrown under the bus. And then because of that, I also felt judged because like I had like kind of a whatever set. And anyway, it's nice to get up. It's nice to be seen. And thank you, John Lou, for putting me up. Maybe if we're doing a bar show, chill the fuck out on telling people that it's a clean show. That's all. And then I worked yesterday. Oof. Yesterday was rough. I worked the Warped Tour. That's why it's newsworthy. It's the Warped Tour. And I'm going to be honest. The early 2000s did something to rock music that I don't think it will ever come back from. And I'm going to say for the record how much I despise emo music. I fucking hate just this full genre built around whining and complaining and a whole genre of music built around like people witnessing their crush make out with another person or their ex make out with another person from across the room. That's the whole fucking genre of music. There's no other topic in the fucking... I hate it. It's so whiny and angsty and just like suburban people inventing their own problems. I said that in front of an audience once, and a woman shouted, "But it's real, but it hurts." I'm like, I get it, and it's worth a few songs, but it's not worth a whole genre. So I wasn't really looking forward to the Warped Tour, is all I'm saying. There's only one good song that was ever written about watching your ex or your crush make out with another person from across the room. One good song. And it's not The Killers, Mr. Brightsides. It is Robin, Dancing on My Own. Robin, Dancing on My Own, a fucking banger. And that brings out something in me, because once I did see my crush / ex-ish person, because we didn't have labels at the time, because I was just a fucking fuckboy, watch her from across the room make out with another dude, and she didn't tell me he was going to be at the function, and now I'm just like kind of watching her break up with me, sort of, even though we did do stuff after that. And anyway, it was a very emo situation during a very emo time in history. Robin, dancing on my own. So I'm working the Warped Tour. Not a big fan of the music. People are turning the bass way too high. It's emo music. It's rock music, but it's like I said, emo tainted rock. And I'm in front of the unplugged stage, the acoustic stage, which is kind of nice because people have to be actual musicians when they're going to play on real instruments. They can't hide behind fucking whining about suburban problems. And it was a perfect stage for me to be in front of. I was having a really good time. All the best, some great bands, some great reggae bands with like real trumpets and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like some people were plugging in a little bit, but it wasn't anything crazy. Some folkish kind of bands, which is really my shit. My music awakening was with classic rock, so that's perfect for me. I found the first reggae band that was up. I'm like, is that Sublime? Because Sublime's still doing stuff, right? Or like Sublime with Rome, or like Long Beach Short Bus or some shit like that. It's like the members of Sublime doing a project with, I think it's Bradley's son now. He's got whoever does it always has the exact same voice. You wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Clearly not the same songwriting ability because they haven't had a hit in some decades, but the singing style, identical. It was not Sublime or Roma Sublime or Long Beach Shore Bus or whatever. Because I asked the people who were at the concert who know better than me because I'm just like working there. And I just mentioned, I'm like, well, because Bradley Noel made it so that every white reggae band after Sublime wanted to have their singer sound exactly like Bradley. So now every white reggae band sounds exactly like that. And they're like, oh, that's true. I guess that's true. So I'm working this event. It's going well, except at some point, I don't know why at these events that I work, I'm always facing the sun. I'm always facing the sun. And at some point, like, all I can see is the sun, and there's people coming up to me, and I can't see the screen. All I can see is these silhouettes. Like, it's right at me. It's insane. And I'm wearing sunglasses, and it's just beating up. And at some point, people start, like, commenting. They're like, you're, like, in the worst spot in this whole place. I'm like, yeah, I don't know what it is, man. The sun's just right fucking on me right now. It's okay. It's going to be over in, like, an hour, I think. It was a long-ass hour and a half. I felt like a fugitive from the sun. That's what I felt like. And it's funny, like, I'm at the event, and people are so friendly and so sweet, even as customers. Like, nobody's really being bitchy, and people are like, thank you for working the event. It means so much to us. We know it's hot, and we know it's uncomfortable, and we appreciate you doing what we do because it helps us have a good time. Thank you so much. We hope you're enjoying the music. The people say that a lot. It's really, really sweet, and it really goes a long way. And I know maybe from another perspective it may sound condescending, but it's really nice to hear, especially while people are showing you, as they're giving you tips, and you're here to make money. You're enjoying music and you're making money at the same time. That's the best case scenario. Meanwhile, I'm standing in a puddle because we're outside and we're working with like quickly melting ice, and I'm just, for hours now, I'm standing in a puddle. My feet are just wet, my socks, my shoes are soaked. Every time I walk now, I hear this spongy, this sound, that's the last time I'm going to do it. But it's fucking, I'm standing in a puddle, it's wet, and the sun is beating on me. Like, it feels like really just me. I took a picture of my view from Warped Tour, and it's just a picture of the fucking sun. And like little dots that are like a band performing in front of it. But yeah, a lot of fun. I'm watching these people, and they're really nice and they're really sweet. And I'm remembering other events like Day Trip, which was kind of nearby. I was in Long Beach, and Day Trip was at the Queen Mary. Day Trip is more of a house music event. Some might say a party drugs event. And I was just watching Dave Chappelle's Unstoppable, which is an abbreviated title. If you know, you know. I feel like it's his best special since Bird Revelation. Bird Revelation is kind of when he started going poet laureate more than comedian. You know, he started going more like the best TED talker, you know, like giving speeches with jokes in the middle. And after that, he's kind of just like meandered or whatever. I feel like he doesn't really put a lot of work into his specials, not really working stuff out. He might have it ready, like he might have started getting the material ready like a month before the actual taping. You know, he's just got that much confidence in himself, which is cool, but also means he doesn't really work at it. Unstoppable, he mentions how cocaine bitches are so much hotter than weed bitches. And I'm at this event and I'm comparing it to Day Trip. And like, I'm all, that's so true. Because Day Trip, a party drugs event, a house music event, a cocaine bitches event, it was all baddies all the time. I think there might have been a handful of women that didn't have fake boobs. Just women with abs, just like stacked. And the fashion and just titties out everywhere. So much titties, so much ass, so much women owning their sexuality. It was, oof. It was, everywhere you look, you had to just get used to it. You're like, all right, this is just like hot people town, you know? And then you're at Warped Tour, and it's weed bitches. And they're very sweet, and some of them are very pretty. But per capita, a much lower percentage of baddieism, of baddiness. Still a great time, though. Still good music. I'm going to take a swig of my water, and I'll be right back with you. I do feel like the shows I've been doing have been getting better. Just like more than bar shows where you're just trying to at least get on a flyer and say you've done a show. It's like real audiences coming out to see comedy, really appreciating your stage presence, giving you the room to breathe, giving me the room to breathe, and like make a point and tell a story with a hard punchline at the end, you know? And just really what I want to do in comedy. That's the difference between like just open micing and like doing comedy and having good practice, you know? I feel really proud of that. I feel really proud that people feel confident enough to just like put me up wherever and know that it's going to be a good result. Having said that, it still needs to be work. Okay, so I have a little list of bullet points I wanted to hit here on the cast. I don't want it to be too long. I think I've been talking for like 16 minutes, something like that. I'm checking right now. Oh, and I'm doing more content. That's what I wanted to say. Last Monday, so I did a podcast. Look out for that with Rose Darling. Beautiful woman. So fun to talk to. I can't even explain. You just have to watch it. It's really so much fun. So beautiful. So much fun to talk to. That's all there is to say about it. It's going to be a fun podcast to listen to, a fun podcast, a more fun podcast to watch, because I set up maybe one or two visual gags just right there at the end. So it's quality content I'm proud of, right? This is supposed to help get me on, again, better stages where I can practice better and just be better and have that opportunity to make myself as good as possible. Last Monday, did a Man on the Street segment with some friends, with some comedy friends, just down from the Comedy Store. So I still have to edit that. So that's probably at least 2 weeks away. And planning, I don't like to talk about things before they've happened because I feel like it drains the piss out of it in the future. But a friend of mine from the Rockwall gym I go to, he's in a band with his girlfriend, and so I hope to have them on pretty soon. So that's for continuity. Other side of that, I'm thinking of doing, okay, stay with me, a sex tape. All right? I really want to settle down with Ray Ray. I just really want to be undivided with Ray Ray. I mean, we're in an open relationship, and I know that's annoying to listen to for a lot of people, because polyamory, if you don't know what it means, it means that you didn't get laid enough in high school, and you're going to spend the rest of your life overcompensating. That's what polyamory means. It means you're a full-grown slut. You're a whore, and you're as grown as you're going to be. You're not going through like a hoe phase. This is just who you are, what you are. And you just can't fucking put it down. No, it's cool. For us, it just means that a cool opportunity isn't going to cost us our whole last relationship, you know? Having said that, I really would like to just live out a few fantasies before I at least feel like I put it down. You don't ever want to announce putting it down, meaning just like fucking strangers or whatever. But, I mean, just to like stop taking it seriously altogether, I want to have a couple fantasies. And Rose said she'd do a little tape with me. She said she'd get on something with me. And maybe I'd put it up on OnlyFans so that it wouldn't be there for the world. You really have to like want to see it, you know? So you only find it if you want to find it, and if you see it, I make money off of it. Like, that needs to happen because it's not cheap. It's not cheap to do these scenes. I want to do a good quality. I want to hire a good cinematographer. I want to get a nice room, studio, whatever, so that the style can match Rose, because Rose is a really stylish woman. And I think we'll have a lot of fun because not only is she super hot, but like I said, she has an amazing personality. And that does so much for attractivity, beauty. So I want to do that. I'd like to do a few of them. So there I have, the way I have it figured out in my mind is I want to knock each major fantasy off. And so one of them is like, Rose is like, she's not a goth chola, but she looks like it, you know, a lot of tattoos, bright red dyed hair, you know, alty chick, fishnets, into S&M, shit like that. Like, just, you know, platform fucking dicky boots, like fashion the fuck out, but also rough and tough. Like, she's definitely like a fantasy. Another one I'm talking to, I don't want to say her name because, you know, what if it falls through? But she's kind of one of those like older baddies, you know, just like stayed hot. She's like close to 50, but like it's just like gorgeous. That's been a fantasy of mine since I was a kid. I've been fantasizing about that woman since I was a kid. And I might have in my life had I say had like people are there to be had, but you know what I mean? Been with someone who looked like that because people like that, they're like me. They're just like full grown. We're all full grown sluts, you know? And we just want to keep the party going. I mean, why even do it if you can't do that, you know? Other than to have kids, which is why I want to like settle down with Ray and like really pay attention to that, but not before having these fantasies, living out these fantasies. Because I don't want to have fantasies if they don't come true. Like, it's a big deal. That's why I don't fantasize about dumb shit. I fantasize about big shit and potentially unattainable shit. But it can all be done, you know? It may just not be done, but it can be done, all of it. Stupid shit like homesteading. Rachel's making fucking soap right now. Ray is making like homemade, high quality, like Squatch brand level soap. Like, that type of shit. Like, if society crumbles, you got to be able to fucking have your amenities. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're looking at the world on fire and we're pretending like it's not happening, but we are well aware that it's happening. Meanwhile, me and Ray are doing stuff about it. We're figuring out how to make fucking prosciutto at home. We're figuring out how to fucking make soap, make laundry detergent, fucking treat your water, shit like that, you know? Like, this is real, like... You can make your own world. You don't have to rely on, like, what if there was no such thing as, for instance, the Mach 3? The Mach 3 is the best, and I'm not sponsored. The Mach 3 is the best razor out there, but what if there's no Mach 3, then I just have to use some shitty razor. I can't even think of, like, a second in line that's as good as, like, if a brand disappears and then you're just like, oh, I'm just, like, out of this quality forever, you know? And me and Ray are like, we can live out that fantasy of being able to do it ourselves, because everything we have at home is so much better than everything out there. Everything we cook, everything we make. I'm sort of segueing, but it's all related, you know? I don't want to have fantasies that don't come true. And so I want to fuck these baddies and release sex tapes. Only on OnlyFans. Only if you want to see it, you can see it. It's not out there for the world to discover. I know what you're thinking, like, it'll get leaked. I should be so lucky that anybody should care about it so much that it would get leaked. Okay? But if you want to see it, it'll be up. And I don't even know that it's going to happen because I haven't done it yet. And I'm really thinking about the cost. That's really what I'm bouncing around in my head. The cost, is it worth it? Can I market this thing enough so that enough people buy it so that at least it wasn't a major expenditure? Will it hurt me? Because I know that I've done adult work in the past and it's gotten me dropped from an agent, but that agent wasn't doing anything for me anyway, so like, who cares? But I wouldn't want it to cost me opportunities. Having said that, opportunities aren't like being thrown at me. Everything I get because I work hard for it, you know. It's not because people are feeling like I'm the next this or that. I'm not feeling... You know, like that story when Dave Chappelle tried to go to HBO and they said, what do we need you for? We already have Chris Rock. And it's like, in their mind, they already have a black comedian. Why do they need two? That's largely how entertainment works. They're like, oh, we already have a such and such. We already have a Fluffy or something like that. We already have a, Andrew Santino or something like that. Why would we need another funny ginger 5'8", 5'10" guy, whatever, middle-aged. There's no one like that for me. No one's trying to fill a void in the market with whatever I am, looks-wise or content-wise or personality-wise. So everything I get because, like, I work hard for it, and people see me, and they like something about it. And so this is what I'm mulling over in my head with, like, doing a sex tape, because I'm like, this is the only way to live out these fantasies, and you only got the one life, and at some point I'm not going to be able to do this anymore, you know? And that'll probably be soon, because I want to have kids with Rachel. So, I mean, there's more reasons to do it than not to do it. I guess I'm more worried that Ray would be worried about the expenditure. So I need to be able to pitch it to her as a good business idea. So that's what it is. So there you have all the inside baseball on that. But I would like to do it, and I am totally planning to do it. I'm going to end on two things. We're getting close to our 30-minute mark. Let me consult my notes while I take one more swig of water. Okay, two things. I'm going to bring you down a little bit. Lindsey Graham died. This is kind of old news. It's not really old. It's like 2 weeks ago. But people don't pay attention to news past like 7 days. Like 7 days, something's... What, we're still talking about that, you know? Lindsey Graham died. Nobody cares. Lindsey Graham died. Nobody cares. Least of all his coworkers, and least of all the opposing side. He didn't push any agenda enough to be a loss or a threat. He was just kind of a loud, annoying motherfucker who clearly was never satisfied with whatever he achieved politically. Excuse me. And he was just a pipsqueak. Like, he's just perpetual third and fourth fiddle. But he was a powerful man. Think about that. This is a powerful man. This is a man who ascended the ranks of something. He was a senator, right? He was a Kentucky senator or something? Something. I don't care. I don't care enough to even look it up. Nobody cares. That's how much you can achieve. And nobody cares. And then you didn't care because you were constantly trying to get something more, something better, and not even trying to accomplish anything, but just be a thing. He was just trying to be a thing. He was trying to be an important guy. And he kind of sort of was. He was a loud guy who probably knew how to be on time and get good test scores or something, you know? He knew how to say what he's supposed to say. He was like the best whore, you know? He was the best whore. That'll go on his tombstone. And they say don't speak ill of the dead, but I don't believe in heaven or hell. All that's left over is how people talk about you. And they wouldn't expect... He'd probably take solace in the fact that someone like me is even mentioning him enough to hate him, right? Because his whole thing was like hating the other side. Those people, that's what their whole thing is, like hating the... They're not about fixing something or doing anything or like... You can't point to like a thing that he accomplished. I mean, you're in politics. What the fuck are you doing? Are you even holding the thing together? On a side note, related, unrelated, water mains, plural, are breaking in Los Angeles. And not like a little bit, but like enough to cause just a tiny bit of catastrophic flooding. Just a tiny bit of catastrophic flood. For like wherever the path of the water main was, like it was like a half a story of water. That's enough to like permanently damage a building. Like you need to renovate. Like it's unlivable. The amount of mold and shit and like debris, and it's just really like a disaster. But it's not a natural disaster. It was totally preventable. This water main has been scheduled for repair for years and was been kicked down the road. I think they were planning to fix it in 2028. Who knows if they were going to. And this is the shit that people, it's hard to care about, but it's very real. The first water main broke. It was a very big deal. It was such a big deal that I went to the spot near Sunset. It was like after it was cleaned up. It was several days after it was cleaned up. The street was still fucking wet. It looks like they just finished mopping or something, that section of the street. It was several days later. Like they already shut off the main, they cleaned it up, and it's days later, it's still wet. And more mains continue to break. I don't know that I don't know that it's as big a deal, but I mean, like, it's clearly crumbling. LA is clearly crumbling. I hate it that, like, the rest of the country hates LA. I mean, I honestly don't care about that part of it, but I hate that when they talk shit about it, you have to say, or I have to say, I mean, you have a point, you know? It's embarrassing. I mean, I didn't do it. I don't even really live in LA, but LA is kind of like emblematic of California. And that's our city. That's this. Every state has their city. We have like three. We have San Diego, LA, and San Francisco. Those are the major cities. And they all have like these fucking, if it's not a shithole, it's like a shithole area. Like, and it's like a big one, you know? And Lindsey Graham ain't gonna fix that. Barbara Boxer or whoever the fuck replaced her. You know what I mean? Like, these senators, these Congress people, these city officials, what is their job if not just to maintain the fucking city? What is their job if not just to make sure this type of shit does not happen? It's crazy because when someone does a good job, like, it's hard to tell because nothing happens. But you can tell they're not doing a good job because shit's constantly happening. That's all my point is with that. So fuck all these people, including that dude who I mentioned who's gone. And I'm gonna bring it up. I'm gonna bring up the mood with one last. What do I have? What do I have on my list on my bullet points? Remembering Dave Chappelle talked about cocaine women being hotter than weed women. That was number one. That was the first thing I wanted to talk about. Felt like a fugitive from the sun. I mentioned that. Did John Lewis show. I mentioned that. More water mains. A joke about finding LA's clitoris. I meant to wedge in there a joke about, like, someone must have tickled LA's clitoris and she went fucking gushing. LA was gushing. Man, you just got to find that G-spot, that LA G-spot, you know, and she fucking, oof. She can't stop gushing. She's been gushing ever since. It's really horrible and catastrophic. Do I have anything coming up? I don't think so. I've had fun talking to you. I hope you've been entertained or at least distracted from your own thoughts or your daily life or your problems, listening to mine. Here's a weird thing. There's hope in the Mangione case. Think about that for a second, because that motherfucker's on camera doing that shit. But what does that mean? Maybe that means a judge fucking thought, oh, maybe he has a point, you know? Like, I don't know. There's layers to that. That's what I'm going to end on. I want you to think about that. There's hope in the Mangione case because the shit's crumbling and you need to do something about it. I don't want to harp on that, but that's what I'm going to leave you with. Hey, I love you all. Go to a city council meeting. I know I'm a hypocrite because I have not been, but I have been paying attention. I've been like checking in with my city government portal and all that shit just to see what they're up to and what kind of money they're wasting and what they're doing about stuff. It's always scary whenever I look in because there's always like a brand new secret meeting that we're not invited to or something. The last time I wanted to go to one, they're like, it's a closed meeting. I'm like, okay, well, that doesn't sound sinister. So go to your city council meeting, at least get involved, get your dick wet in some city council. You know what I mean? Wet your whistle. Or stuff. Just dip your toes. It's hot as fuck. Stay cool out there. I turned on my AC for the first time today. I set it to 74 because I'm trying to be a conservationalist, and I know it's only going to get hotter. We still have August and September, the hottest day of the year in the last at least 5 years, but probably more, has been consistently in September, at least here in Southern California. So, stay cool. Conserve your energy. I try to acclimate a little bit to the weather, but, be good. Stay good. Love yourself. I love you. Bye-bye.